So hi there, so this is the second part of my latest visit and tour to Ghana. Just to recap, in the first video, which you can click a link above, I was talking about the latest land that I purchased in the ACRE region. And in this particular video, I'm going to be sharing details of my farm, where it's at, as well as what the future plans are. Good morning. So it's effectively 6:20 in the morning. I'm now in a different region of Ghana. So it's in the Hafa region in Kranza. It's a short, quick pit stop at the farm that I've owned with a group of really close friends and investors for the last 4/5 years. And that's where we're growing cashew nuts. Yes, cashew nuts. Quick story, when we bought it, it's in a really great area for cocoa. Rather than growing cocoa, started doing the cash crop of maize. That didn't work very well. And then we decided to go for a crop that takes a longer time to yield, harvest, but actually has low maintenance. That's where we then went on to move to invest in cashew. So it's a 4 to 5 year process to get the first harvest. So we're nearly a few months away from it. It should be coming out around the next wet season, so a few months from now. So it's all about checking up and seeing how it is. So you might be thinking, why Hafa? Well, it's really well known for its great agriculture and great soil. So it has cassava that grows really well. It has coconuts. It has pineapples. It has cocoa, so chocolate, which is one of the largest exports of Ghana, and as well as that, cashew. Hey, if you're liking the video so far, why not like it and then subscribe for more content like this.
On the top, that's the farm.
So I approached the farm now. Warning, brace yourself because they're about to get bouncy. So we've arrived at the site, and you can see in the background, this is a cashew tree. And then in the background, you'll see some maize as well.
And then see the leaf, he just jumped.
He jumped?
Yeah, he jumped.
When he saw what?
He have never been to farm.
So that clip that you just saw had me in bits. So effectively, the person that you saw in the distance is our farm manager. And he hasn't seen me for 3, 4, 5 years. And Kweku, our right-hand man on the ground, is effectively saying he jumped when he saw me. This bit had me cracking up. So as you go further in the next footage, effectively walking towards the farm, and you'll see different types of crops and farming, all being done by locals. And it's just amazing to see. So you can see corn is nearly coming, so this is probably, I think, between 4 to 6 months. It's growing, so it's ready. It's about around 6 to 8 feet high, so it's come along very nicely, and I suspect it's going to be cut down very shortly. So it looks like ant hills, but these are actually not. These are yams. So these are several different rows of different yams being grown.
The fire started, so all this one got burned, but because it has started raining, it's coming back. The leaves is coming back again.
And when did it burn?
Somewhere around the January, February morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when will it grow back?
No, right now it's coming back.
Okay.
You see, you can see the new leaves is coming.
Yeah.
This was the one that got burned. this was the additional land that we got.
Yeah.
So this was the new ones that we planted.
Okay.
So when we go forward, you will see the old one that we planted, the one that you people came and planted. You see that the trees are bigger than this one.
So how old is this one?
This one should be around 2 to 3 years.
2 to 3 years. Okay.
But this one recently it got burned.
Okay.
But it's now coming back again.
Okay.
You see, because it got burned.
Yeah.
This is how it is. But since it started raining, the new leaves is coming.
So this is still cashew.
Yeah, it's cashew, but this one got burned. But the tree itself is still coming back again.
So a few months ago,
Yeah.
there was a fire that went over around several acres of land.
Yeah.
But what's good about this tree is, even though part of this tree got burnt, it's been replenished and regrown, but you've still got part of the other tree that's still strong and healthy. How long should it take until it gets back to normal?
Yeah, this one, the difference is that instead of us to be, let's say this one is supposed to be harvested in 2 years' time.
Yeah.
But the other one maybe from next year going.
Yeah.
But the only thing is, instead of this one 2 years going, because it got burned,
Yeah.
we will get another 1 year
Okay.
additional attached to it before you can start.
So it's
harvesting.
delayed by
Delayed
1
the
year.
harvesting. Yeah, delayed
By
by
roughly
1
1 year.
year. Yeah, that's how it is. This is the nut that people buy.
Yeah.
The one that you chew. This is the rare cashew.
So is that just one nut?
It is just one nut.
Yeah.
And this is the fruit. This is what we sell.
Okay.
So this is the fruit.
That's right. That's how I reacted the first time I found out that one cashew comes from one fruit. This is our farm manager. So he looks younger than he actually is. He's super experienced farm manager. He knows what he's doing.
This
So
is the rare cashew.
this is the cashew.
Yeah, this is what we sell. Cashew nuts, yeah.
From what we see now to when it's ready to harvest.
Right now, this one, 2 weeks time, you
Fall
come,
down.
this fruit will fall down.
Will fall down.
Yeah, because
And
the
then
fruit
pick
will
it.
mature.
And,
Then you
and it
pack
will
it.
actually have a fruit on top of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the fruit. And this is the nut.
So just in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah,
falling down.
just only these two that you are seeing.
Oh wow.
The different about this harvesting, this tree is that harvesting, you don't climb the tree to harvest. You just allow it to fall down.
How long could it be on the ground before you pick it? Before it goes rotten?
The nut is the only thing you want. The nut doesn't rot.
Okay.
The nut is the only thing. The fruit rot.
So we're going through the land, and one thing I want to highlight is, can you see this? It's got the cashew fruit tree. This is just a few years old. You'll see there's maize in the background. Now, this is one of the cost-effective ways to make sure the ground around the cashew is maintained and nothing is untoward, and it's maintained going forward. Because what we've allowed is locals to grow maize in and around the trees whilst they're maturing, up from 1 to 3 years. And by them being around, they're going to look after it. That naturally looks after the soil that is around the cashew. And then after year 4 or 5, we allow the locals to move on. We don't charge them anything, but they naturally give us something back in return by looking after the land around the cashew fruit tree.
This is the fruit.
So this is the fruit itself.
This is the fruit itself.
Yeah.
And this is the nut.
So when would this be ready?
This one, as soon as maybe 1 week or 2 weeks, it will fall down itself.
We about 3 days time.
It will fall down.
Because 2 days.
It will fall down.
This was one of them that fell on the ground.
This
Yeah,
one.
yeah. So he's taking the nut from me. The nut is the one you want. The nut,
So can you see? This is what goes into the delicacy of a
Beneath.
cashew.
yeah, you see.
So you can keep that one, or is that rotten?
No, the nut is the one you want. It's for, even if it's
This one.
rotten, the nut doesn't rot.
So how long can you keep it in this before it goes off?
This one can keep more than 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
So what you might be noticing is one of the reasons why we went with going with cashew over a quick cash crop like groundnut or maize is because the nut itself falls to the ground, can be stored for 2 to 3 years. The actual tree, after a couple of years of good nurturing and maintenance, preserves itself. You know, as long as you guard against fires and, you know, malicious behavior, you will have a good crop, a good asset in itself that could yield over 45 to 60 years. So, it's the bit that I've been waiting for. This is what made me fly all the way from the UK to Ghana. It's the taste test. This is how I know it's ready. This one's a bit bitter at the end, but the natural sweetness still comes through. You can see it's overflowing with juices. I know, my table manners are terrible. Sorry, I apologize. If you found that a bit disgusting, a bit quirky, then the next bit, maybe you should avoid. Even though it's edible. And all we've done is we've left with this.
Better.
Because
It's a property.
Like we need to maintain it.
Because me say you come you don't know you do here.
Yeah.
A bear come 50 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, the money will come.
Those are wise words from our farm manager. He hasn't seen us for a number of years. He's seen us put money in it, but he hasn't really seen us as a group continually visiting the farm. So what he's sharing there is, don't underestimate the asset that we've got. Now we're seeing something come out the ground that will produce money. He's saying, don't stand back and just let it be. Put more focus behind it. Start putting some mitigation plans in place. As we shared earlier, there was a fire, and that fire could have been prevented by being proactive. We've got a good farm manager. A lot of people I've talked to have had really negative experiences when they've invested abroad. We've got a strong team who cares. And actually, that's reinforced in the wise words our farm manager is sharing.
That's the name for one year. Meet my traffic in Jabberton. As I had on say.
How many bags does one tree create?
Right now you cannot predict because some of the trees are bigger.
Yes.
So it depends on how much you harvest from this tree. So let's say in total, when you harvest 10 bags this year, expecting more than what you harvest in this year, that will only make you know. It's the more the tree is growing, the more you are harvesting. That's how the cashew tree is. Okay. Over time, these were all linked to one canopy. So from here to here, and then from this tree to that tree to that tree. It can take up to 10 years roughly to get to that maturity. And after that 10-year maturity, a lot of the weeds that we see now will naturally erode away because they won't have exposure to sunlight and rain. But between now and then, farm manager is saying, make sure we use good care and maintenance so we can reach the greater potential of that cashew. So we're learning and we're starting to understand ourselves. This is what you get to when you're right in the thick of things and you're learning as you go. There's lessons to be learned, there's mistakes to be made, but as long as you're around those people that can teach you and help you, obviously helps with that transition. So that's why our farm manager, who's in farming for decades, really is a huge asset to us. Not only are the trees the asset, but the team are the asset too. So here's the storage unit that we built a few years back, ready for harvest. Still got a bit of work left on it. We're assuming that it will roughly hold around 100 to 200 bags of cashew. Just to give you a bit of a story, there was a litigation battle on the land. So we bought this land 5-6 years ago from a chief, and then a year or 2 years later there was another chief who was contesting some of the land, and over the last few years there's been back and forth and several different trials, and the chief that we bought the land has won 3 or 4 times, and now it's got to a stage where the judges have all cleared the issue and clarified that our chief and all these lands are his and there's no contest on that. So over the next short-term period, all the paperwork should be clarified. And when we bought the land, we bought roughly 20 acres. Now, through litigation, goodwill,
we've now got 40 acres of land. That's around 30 acres of land that we can grow crops on, and 10 that includes the river. So the disadvantages of where we're based is that the land itself is landlocked. We need to get access through other people's lands. Now, luckily there's good relationships and goodwill there, so we haven't got that issue yet. But the pros are that we've got this river. So we've got several acres of cashew that's growing very, very well. And we've got around 6 acres of land that isn't being used because it's very, very close to the river as well as the river. So that's around 15 acres that is being underutilized. There's several different ideas that will go back and forth on what can be done. And that might be a few years from now or a few months or however long it will take. But there's options, be that tourism, be that growing rice, be that growing cocoa, etc. There's options. And this is one of the good reasons why it's good to visit the land, is because you actually get to understand what's developing, how it's looking, and actually to find out that we've got more land than we initially purchased, nearly 100% more. It's already good to know that. Let me show you how you do it. What are you showing me?
Is it wheat on?
Okay.
Yeah, come on.
But now you've just done the easy bit. Hey. There you go, see? Yeah. All in a day's work. You know, that was a few seconds and my hands are getting tough now.
That's a granite. Let me take one.
So is this peanuts or groundnut?
Granite. You see?
Oh, yes, yeah.
So, this one.
And what does this go into?
Yeah, we eat it.
Do you roast it?
Yeah, you roast it. You can boil
eat it.
Even you can eat it fresh. Let me.
And this is what it looks like.
Take the fresh one.
And then we're gonna try it. Yeah, it's peanuts. Oh, this hasn't been cooked, but it's got still the ready fresh flavor. It's beautiful, look. Beautiful. So I just wanted to highlight, this hasn't been a get rich quick scheme. There's been money that's invested, lessons learned, but we're now seeing the fruits of our labor. And we were talking for around 10-20 minutes of what else needs to be done. It's quite a fair few, but the key next steps would be to start implementing new processes on clearing the land more regularly, which reduce any chance of wildfires, and also to look at an opportunity of putting fencing around the land as well. Now that we're starting to see that we've got an asset, we've got something to potentially lose, it's about fair time that we start investing in putting fencing up and protecting it. Farm manager's clarified maybe another 5 months we're close to harvesting. I'll be back. If you like this content, subscribe. If you like this video, make sure you like it. If there's anything you want me to expand upon, or if you want me to do more videos of this, put a comment down below. Rather than just looking at property or business as an asset, but actually seeing land and farming as an asset, and you want to see more of that, show me that you want to see that, and I'm happy to share more on that side of things. I'm no expert, but I've got some good people around me, and I'm happy to share that. So follow along, like, subscribe, and share, and comment. Before I go, I'm just leaving the land now, and you ever know what plantain looks like in its rawest form? Look, doesn't it look like similar to bananas? This is yellow, but give it a few more months, it'll be bigger and yellower. And if you like your chilies, this is what Ghanaians call pepper. Super hot, hotter than what I think Scotch bonnets are. They don't look powerful, but boy, they are.